Welcome to the Lone Lands, which is the area for the Book 2, Chapter 5 epic quest, Retake the Weathertop. In the book, Strider and the four hobbits begin their journey from Bree's Southgate through the Midgewater Marshes. However, players may arrive at Weathertop via Bree and the Forsaken Inn. During the period of initiation, the journey to Rivendell, our main hero Frodo undertakes episodic events, and this is one of them. In the book, they go to Weathertop to hopefully rejoin Gandalf. In the film, they rest here, but in both cases, they are set upon by the Wraiths. In gameplay, we meet Ranger Candaith, camped at the foot of Weathertop, who asks us to rid Weathertop of our enemies. Here's Candaith, a ranger just outside of his camp at the foot of Weathertop, and he's asking us to protect him as we journey upward through the maze-like pathways, hoping not to get lost on the way. As you can see, it's nighttime, cold, and the wind moves the rain across the pathways, which helps to reinforce Sam's feelings of fear and anxiety in the novel. The only difference here is that in gameplay it's raining, in the book there's frost in the air, and a long shot in the film shows mist and low clouds surrounding Weathertop. We see barren land around us and little signs of life here, except the birds and the orcs stationed above. However, the book does make reference to seeing orcs, rangers and dwarfs pass by in the night, and mentions the discovery of a hasty camp, possibly made by rangers, with a small store of firewood neatly packed. The journey to the top is different across book, film and game, and that's mainly due to time. In the film, we don't see the journey up the pathways. Instead, Jackson cuts to other scenes from the movie, and then returns, giving the audience the sense that while we were gone, Strider and the hobbits had managed to reach the top. Because this is an epic quest, this real-time in-game play is filled with many perils and tasks along the way. Enter orcs. Here, you and Candaith part ways, and in a sense it's like when in the film Aragorn leaves the hobbits with daggers and takes a look around, but in the novel Strider continues to the top with Frodo and Merry in tow. In gameplay, we can use these torches to set fires and lure down our enemies and pick them off one by one. In the novel, Strider says fire is our friend in the wilderness, and according to him, riders hate it. This is seen after Frodo is stabbed and Strider jumps forth brandishing two torches. In the film, the significance of fire isn't really explained, which leaves audiences wondering why does he throw the torch rather than use the sword in his other hand. In addition, in the film, the hobbits put out a fire that gives away their position but could have also protected them. As you can see here, the path curves and inclines sharply, and while you have a steep drop to the left, the rocks on the right act like hedges, as described in the book. As you continue to the top, you will come across ruins like this one as a reminder of the past and the old alliance. In the book, the group come across large boulders and hewn stones, and the remains of the ruins of the watchtower known as Amonsul. Here I'm stopping to have a cheeky meal, and in the book Frodo and Aragorn are present when this meal takes place. However, in the film, Aragorn is away protecting the group and Frodo is asleep. There are signs of life and hope on Weathertop, as we see trees and bushes in comparison to the grey trees in the movie, and on the left we potentially have the athelas plant. After defeating the orcs, wargs and warg leader, we rejoin Candaith at the entrance to the Weathertop. As you can see, it's gated and covered with shields and skins, suggesting its current use as a camp. Here, your adrenaline's probably pumping, and this is what it must have been like for the hobbits when the wraiths entered Weathertop in the book and the film. See how the game creates mood and atmosphere through the heavy breathing of your character, which shows that it's a cold and frosty night? When the gates open, everything is thrown at you, and your goal is to defeat the Uruk-hai leader. However, he's not alone, and you end up being in a battle with 5 other characters, just like the hobbits are, with the wraiths. In the book and the movie, the hobbits battle 5 wraiths, but here we fight the Uruk-hai leader, orcs, and a mountain troll. In the book it talks about the moonlight, being able to see wraiths in the moonlight, but as you can see here there's no moonlight in gameplay, which makes it difficult to battle and see what's coming next. In the film, all 4 hobbits have daggers which were given to them by Aragorn, and here I use a sword. Sam, Pip and Merry protect Frodo but are tossed to the side by the wraiths. However, in the book it mentions how Pip and Merry fell to the floor out of fear. Here, that's not an option. We must defeat all in order to complete the mission. And, with one last guy, and it's done. Yay! Weathertop has a large surface area made up of an inner and outer circle of ruins. If you come with me over this way, you'll see this item here, an item out of context, and must have been used to store the troll. The inner circle seems to have been used as a campfire, as it has scorch marks, and this is confirmed in the novel when it says, "At the centre a cairn of broken stones had been piled, blackened with fire. Within the ring the grass was scorched and shriveled. Flames had swept the hilltop." Unfortunately in the film there is no defined inner circle, and so you cannot see this campfire in the scorch marks. In gameplay you can see a white stone in the cairn, which could be the brushed white rune Gandalf in the book marks with G3, indicating he was at Weathertop 3 days ago but left in a hurry. Topographical description of Weathertop in the game is very similar to that in the novel, and Herman's concept about the story world is evident in the description of the romantic landscape and ruins of the watchtower. Here you can almost feel that the Weathertop is 1,000 feet. We see the ruins of old works of stone, and at the top we see a rough crown on the old hill's head. Evidence of the history of the watchtower remain in the stone ruins. Aragorn talks about Amon Sul and Gil-galad while at Weathertop in the book. However, in the film, he tells the tale of Luthien in the marshes and briefly mentions history on the journey to the watchtower. Looking out from Weathertop, the game makers have provided us with the same view, rocks and barren faded green fields. However, in the book, Frodo sees the white peaks to the east and the old road in the south. It's while looking in the south that he first realizes how it's a lonely place, which gives him a sense of homelessness and danger.